Hello everyone, my name is Pedro Nunes. I am an etoro popular investor, and this is my monthly video, which I call Investment Dossier, where I analyze the markets and give the perspective how I am running my portfolio at the present moment and environment. I'm recording this video on the 8th of October. It is a little bit late than usual, but since this is Saturday, we have the first week of October, and I think it's one of the right moments to see where we are now. Looking at the S&P 500, the main American index, we had a bottom in June, and in the end of September and beginning of October, the market went more or less to the same point. It did recover a little bit in the first days of October after testing the bottom, but it went down Friday exactly to the bottom of June. And the way I'm seeing the market in terms of the portfolio and in terms of managing the portfolio, I want to see a clear definition where the market goes. If it goes up, retesting, for instance, the 200-day moving average, which it did in August, or go lower. And this is the reason why I still have a 20% cash on my portfolio. The 20% cash reserves is to, if the market goes further down, to buy quality assets in a long-term vision. All the great investors have a long perspective. They are always long, and they utilize these drawdowns to buy quality business at a lower price. So this is the way I am seeing the current moment, to see how the market is going at the moment. If this is a support and the market is going up, or if it breaks this support and it goes further down. There's a lot of volatility, a lot of political uncertainty. We saw in the last week the oil going up again. There's a lot of tension between China and the US. People speak also about the fear of the escalation in terms of nuclear weapons. So there's a lot of volatility in the market. With this kind of structure and with the kind of quality assets we have, we are winning, maintaining a long-term perspective. We are winning to the index in about 3%. But in terms of a risk-reward scenario, we are well positioned for a downturn if it occurs, and we will react actively if the market recovers. Despite having some cash reserves, in the moments that the market recovers, we are seeing a good performance of the portfolio, despite having some bonds, despite having gold and other commodities. This kind of good performance, which we can call it alpha, or the performance of specific assets in relation to the market, is made through the selection of assets that are performing well and can perform well in the future also. Just one just one example. For instance, this company, Take-Two, a gaming company, if we see it regarding the June low, they are performing better than the overall market. And this is one of the reasons owning in a diversified portfolio companies like this, one of the reasons the portfolio is performing well on the way up, despite having a 20% cash reserves. Another thing I want to show you is the way I'm managing the portfolio, and I utilize Airtable where I put all the information. I want to show you two things that I'm utilizing for managing the portfolio on a daily basis. One of the ideas I'm utilizing is regarding the assets that I have, the possibility in terms of risk-reward ratio of some of these assets to achieve higher prices than other assets. And I'm defining, for instance, a target price based on fundamental analysis, but also on technical analysis, and looking at balance the percentage of these assets in terms of the risk-reward possibilities that they have. And I'm making some changes when I see that some assets are near their target prices than other assets, and relating this with the sectors in terms of the sector rotation. I'm also monitoring the way that inflation, recession, and the rise of interest rates relate with some kind of assets, like bonds, for instance, like commodities, and of course, regarding stocks. And another idea is to see the sectors in terms of the present cycle. It's if it's in a early cycle, mid-cycle, or late cycle, but sometimes in these cycles the rotation is already priced in, but I am comparing this with the composition of the sectors in the S&P 500 index, and I'm trying to make optimized rotation based, of course, on great companies to basically overperform the index. That's, of course, one of my main objectives, is to win the market, to have a better result than the index. And I think as a portfolio manager, this is my main task, to win the market, to make every day the best decisions, focusing on a long-term perspective, but also in the short term, trying to each day making the best decisions for the long-term perspective. This was my monthly video. I hope to see you again in November. You can see my portfolio on etoro. You can see the composition of the portfolio. You can see the stats. You can see all the information, and I invite you to take a look at my portfolio on etoro. You just have to write Pedro Nunes and you can see the portfolio. So I hope to see you again in November.